Malayalam cinema has delivered yet again. Just outstanding. Hello guys, I'm Nona Prince and I finally saw the Malayalam film Kaathal, directed by the extraordinary filmmaker Jeo Baby, and it delivers a masterpiece yet again. He just takes a beautiful narrative and elevates it with his filmmaking. This film surpassed every expectation I had. Now if you haven't seen the movie, highly recommended. Go check it out on Amazon Prime. Moving ahead, there will be spoilers. There's already so much that has been spoken about the film, so I want to dive into the spoilers and talk about details which I absolutely love. Now when the film came out in theaters, I didn't get a chance to catch it and I got spoiled because people, I don't know why, in their headlines said Mammootty is playing a gay character. Just like that, it was all over the internet. No one was trying to hide it. No one thought, let's not write that. Maybe just write if you liked the film or didn't like the film and then in the spoilers or later write it. No, the first statement is that. And that really upset me. But of course, this film is not a thriller that knowing this detail, will ruin the film. It's about experiencing it. And even knowing that fact, I enjoyed the film. Now, the way Jeo Baby tells his story is very uneventful. There's no filminess to it. There's no extra drama. It's just told very simply, very casually. And I think that's what makes it stand out. If this story was with someone else, they would have really dramatized it. But the treatment of this film is very subtle, very grounded, very real. And that's what you get from Malayalam cinema. They have nailed the craft of doing that. And even the pace and the editing of the film is very consistent. There's a very slow build-up. And it's actually very late in the film, when almost 40 minutes were left, that we clearly understand what's happening because it's stated directly to us in the film. Until then, it's all implied. It's all a guesswork. You have to connect the dots. You have to figure it out what's really happening. And that's why I do wonder, if I didn't know that Mammootty's character will be gay, would that experience be different? Would I see this revelation as a big twist? I didn't see it coming because the trailer doesn't give away anything. The story is kept very simple. We have a couple, Michael and Omana, and their relationship feels very normal. You do sense some tension between Michael and his father and with his daughter as well. We learn that Michael is entering into local politics also. He'll be fighting the election, and then casually a bomb is dropped. Oh, they are getting divorced. Why is it happening? What's the history? It's left for you to think about until we really get the reason. Now, I'm not a fan of calling this film a LGBTQ plus film. I don't like this labeling. It's a film about human characters first. Yes, the subject the film is dealing with is associated with that community. But to label a film like that or segregate it, oh, it's for that community only, I don't like that. And I really liked the way the film depicted it. It didn't show anything. Everything is implied, is left for you to think and imagine. And I think that's a really good approach because you have to remember, who are you making this film for? Who's your target audience? Is it for the people who already accept them? Or are you going for the people who are still on the fence or on the other side, who are against it? They don't understand it. They find it alien. They find it wrong. They look at it as a disease. Those are the people you want to show this film to and make them understand they are also human. The struggles they go through. These are not special people who have come from some other planet. It can be a story of people around you. I actually blame media for painting a very wrong image of this community because most of the depiction shows them as if they only care about sex. That's their only identity. A person's sexual preference is just one of their attributes, and they have many attributes about their life: the kind of food they eat, their political ideology, their morals. That's what makes them a whole human being. Sex is a part of everyone's life, but you have to remember, in a society, it's still a very taboo subject. Like until recently, even a heterosexual romantic relationship in films was shown with very sensitivity. That's the way family audiences in a society consumed romantic film. They didn't like kissing or showing nudity. So when you're making films about this community, you also have to remember that if you just show these things, you'll keep alienating people who consider this is wrong. To make them understand, you have to first make them comfortable. That's what this film does so well. It shows you how a couple, which includes a homosexual and a heterosexual, are trapped in this society, are caged. Michael is trapped because he lives in a homophobic society, and Omana is trapped because she lives in a patriarchal society. And both of them desire freedom. And it only happens when a woman stands for herself and ended up freeing both of them. And it is a cycle of suppression. The father has suppressed Michael, and Michael has suppressed Omana. To come out of this cycle, you have to undo everything. And at the end, it's the father who will close this cycle by accepting his son. Him going in the court against his son is actually him accepting his son. That's the beauty of the writing in the film. Omana going against her husband is not just for herself, but to free Michael also. And that's where you realize It's actually a love story between these two characters. They've lived together for almost 20 years. There's actually no hatred against each other, but empathy. It's kind of a unique love. With this affection, they care about each other, but there's no physical connection. And it just opens your eyes to different kind of love altogether between two humans who are very different but want the same thing. And the film also explores the life of Thankan, Michael's ex-lover, and what he's suffering through. And through all this, there's one more character, the society, which we explore through the politics that's happening, how this issue is being used, how religion is coming into it. Now, Jeo Baby, just like The Great Indian Kitchen, which I absolutely loved, elevated this film with the visual storytelling. Where to begin with? Just look at these amazing shots, the framing of these shots, the composition. They have a meaning of their own. They are telling a story of their own. The house Michael and Omana live in, and a house is a symbol of a marriage where the couple build it together. But this house has two different roads leading into it. And we find out in the film that from the start of their relationship, they were not together. So they always have different paths. And this is so well depicted visually. So the detail of getting this particular house. It's not just a random house they found, oh, it looks good, just have it. No, the thought behind it. To show the tension between the father and the son without, any dialogue. Michael is sitting reading the newspaper. The father arrives. He gets up, leaves the newspaper and just walks away. No hello, no hi, no good morning. The hoarding and posters, no vote for Michael, he's standing up for the election. They are used so well. Omana going against her husband, looking at the poster which says vote for him, as if support him, creating a visual conflict. Then one of the best sequence in the film, I think it comes around the interval portion, when the opposition party is hosting a rally and using Michael's situation to get more votes. And before they can even complete it, the rain comes in. The nature stops them. And then everyone goes under the roof. It's raining, no one wants to come out. But then one person walks out, which is Thankan. And we get a wide shot where everyone's inside, only Thankan outside in the car, and it's raining. The rain can be a metaphor for the changing world, but all these conservative people do not want to come out. They are hiding away from it, depicting that because he's outed, he's all alone. And over that, one more interesting detail. His car says learner's license. Now maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that can show he's all alone outside with no one with him and is still learning to be himself. Like there's so many shots like this throughout the film, but the most obvious one is the last shot of the film. The historic victory with a rainbow behind it and that happy couple going into the sunset. Coming to the performances, I think the whole cast did a brilliant job. This was actually my first time watching Jyothika and she was so good. The father, played by R.S. Panikkar, he barely had 3 to 4 lines and he killed it. Special shout out to Sudhi Kodikode who played Thankan. The vulnerability he showed. And coming to the mega star, the superstar, the legendary actor, Mammootty. Oh my god, he just has ascended. I know most people be talking like, see such a big star taking up a role like this is so brave and all of that. But I feel like I don't think he really cares. He has reached a point in his life, in his career, he just wants to do good films. He wants to do roles to make an impact for himself. And recently I made a reel talking about, his choices in films, and that actually kind of went viral, and it has reached maybe not him, but the people around him. And he was even asked this question, the choices he's making. And he said, he has been doing that forever. And I've been lucky enough to have seen his earlier work. And that's totally true. He has done films like this forever in his career. Like the performance, everyone in the film gave. They have to be silent. Like how do you act being silent? And that's what these actors have done. There's literally no dialogue. They're just standing, not saying anything. And not even making faces, like, oh, they're feeling. No, they're just silent and they're just, everything is working. You understand what's happening with them. It is so effortless. There are moments where Michael is feeling embarrassed or ashamed. And you can sense it. The breakdown moments. I literally got tears in my eyes. That moment in the climax when both of them hug each other and they feel light because they are free now. I'm so happy that I finally caught up to this film, and it's definitely gonna be one of my favorite films of the year. And if you want to know my other best films, you can check out this video where I talk about the best films 2023. It's quite extensive, almost 80 plus films I have ranked. Where does your favorite film lies? Check it out. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.